Hello, my sweet and dirty readers. Welcome back to another Sierra Talks Books with Authors, where if you're sweet and you love to read dirty, then you're in the right place. Today is a very special episode because it is my lucky number 13, my 13th episode and 13th interview with authors and bloggers and photographers, everyone that is associated with the book world. And today I am especially honored to introduce you to my next guest, which is a multifaceted, multi-talented, inspirational author by the name of Danielle Allen. Well, hello, my sweet and dirty readers. Today on Sierra Talks Books, I have the privilege and honor of speaking with Danielle Allen. Hello, Danielle.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome. We are going to be talking a lot about that, about your books, about your career in this romance landia. But first off, I mean, I went to your I know a little bit about you, but I went to your website and pulled took a look, and your bio says that you're not only a contemporary romance author, but you are a professor and a life coach, and I think you've worked in I think you said social work or the social So just tell us about your career passions.
Well, I have always wanted to write a book. Like in third grade, I remember telling my family and my teachers I wanted to write and I wanted to be a counselor. And so I do both. I've done both. And so like that has been a lifelong like passion of mine. I teach human services courses at a local college. I do life coaching, and I just figured out recently a way to be able to offer life coaching in mini sessions to a larger amount of people, and that's going to roll out in next week will be when signups can happen, and I'm so excited about that. And so like I've been writing full time since 2016. 2016 is when I started writing full time, and I've been teaching since 2011.
Wow.
Bachelor's is in psychology, and my master's is in human services with a focus in marriage and family counseling. And so like I got out of the like counseling arena to teach. And then with life coaching, it is a less intensive way of counseling. So it's like I'm helping someone like articulate what it is they're looking for, what their passions are, and how to make the most out of whatever situation that they're coming to me with. So with counseling, it's more focused on problems and how to resolve them. With life coaching, you can get into that realm as well, but it's also, all right, so you want to maximize your time. Here's how we can do that. You want to, so it's the same vein, but it's just approached differently. People are afraid of therapy sometimes. And I think that with life coaching, it can reach more people only because there's so many people who are like, for whatever reason, for many different reasons, they have like this fear of going to therapy and getting the help they need, the work they need. But like if they go to a life coach, it's less intensive, less invasive. And then like that could be their first step towards going into counseling and getting the help that they need.
Okay. It kind of opens the door to that.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I would rather teach people how to be the best counselors, be the best human services professionals they can be, instead of actually being in it as deeply as I was before.
That makes sense. What kind of led you to that? Just having, that I know for me in real life, real life is heavy, and writing fiction, writing romance is not so much. So it helps in balancing, I don't know, just our emotional state. Is that what helped you or got you into it?
Well, what got me into it is that I love to read, and I love to read like, the escapism of romance and like, and mystery and suspense. Like those are like my favorite genres. And so I was reading a bunch of romances, and I wasn't seeing any romances that featured a Black woman who was in her late 20s with natural hair. I wasn't seeing that. And I didn't really know about, like, this is 2013. I didn't really know about the indie world, but I knew that, like, the only, like, like, all of the books I was reading, it was all white women all the time, like all of the romances. And then if it was like Black women, it was either urban fiction, or it was like older Black women, like How Stella Got Her Groove Back type.
Or maybe side characters or.
Right. And so it was like, but I wasn't seeing anything that focused on like where I was in my life in my late 20s, or like reflective of the life like that me and my friends had lived. And so I was like, I'm gonna write a book. Well, I had a list of 30 things I wanted to do before I turned 30. And one of them was to write a book. That was the number one thing. So it was 2013, time was running out. My 30th birthday was coming up. And so I was like, let me write, I need to write something. So I wrote it. I loved it. And then like my ex, he read it, he loved it. And then my best friend, and I was like, okay, these are people who like were inclined to love it, but my best friend, she would 100% tell me if she didn't like it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. So like we figured out how to publish via Amazon and made that happen. And so that was what got me into it, though. Like when I was reading all of these love stories, and it was just like, well, these are cool, but like, where are the ones that feature Black women? Like, where are they? And so I was like, all right, well, I'm a write one.
Your debut book, 2016, 15,
2013.
2013. Oh my goodness.
The book that I wrote for the 30 by 30, I published it.
2013. All right. And that was your debut book was it Work Song?
Back to Life.
Back to Life. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about that.
Back to Life it has a lot going on. And if I love it because it's my baby. It's my first one. Yep. And it is part of a 3-book series. So it's Back to Life, Back to Reality, and Back to December. Okay. Back to Life and Back to Reality are like, you have to read those in order. Back to December was written 3 years later, and it takes place 3 years later, and it's from the point of view of Sahara's best friend. Okay. And so it is, it has twists and turns. It was because I didn't I wasn't thinking, okay, this is going to be a career. Right. I was just like, everything I want to see in a book, I'm putting in this book. Right, because this is going to be the book I write. And so I wrote it, then I had to write a sequel. And like people read it and they were like, oh, what happens next? And I was like, all right. A woman emailed me and she was like, hey, like, I love this. And I was like, what? And so she was like, do you have a Facebook? Do you have, her name was Natalie. And she is still blogging now. She was how I even knew about the whole indie world. Like I had no idea.
Wow. Kudos to Natalie.
Yes. Natalie hooked it up because she was just like, well, you have to create a Facebook. You have to have a like page. You have to and she did a blog tour for me and all of that. And so, yeah.
All right. And that's the thing. It's like, you reach that precipice and you hit publish, and then you're like, okay, now what? And there's so much that happens after that. And the thing is, once people do read your books, then they're like, gimme, I want more, right? Yes. And then we're on the spot.
You got to figure out, okay, well, I don't know what to
do. But it doesn't seem like it's been a problem for you, because how many books do you have now?
I have 30.
30 books.
Yes.
Oh my God. In less than 7 years. Yeah.
Yes.
That is amazing. Huge.
Thank you.
If you needed to describe your works and your books, what tropes or subgenres do you typically gravitate toward? Are they lighter? Are they fun? Are they serious? Are they drama? Are they?
It's all over the place. And I like it like that. Because like I want people to not know what to expect when they pick up. Like I want them to expect it will be well written because it will be. And then that's it. Like I like to keep people on their toes, but I will say I'm really into suspense. Like that's my favorite genre. If a movie comes out and it says it's suspense, I'm there. Like, well, not in 2020, but like before I would be there. Like it'll infuse humor. It is sexy. It is fun, but like there's some that are purposely tear jerkers. There are some that are purposely funny. There's sometimes where I will like lean into one genre versus another. My most recent, I feel like it was more, I would say, I guess, more erotic than the other ones because like there were more sex scenes in that one than in any of my other books. And it was shorter. So it was just like, all right, well, I guess they're getting it in.
And that one is the one you're talking about is Truth or Dare?
Yes.
All right. So Truth or Dare, everyone. So what do you enjoy most then about the writing craft? When you sit down to write, what fills you with the most satisfaction?
So my books will always have a message. Like there's always something. Like I'm always in teacher mode. Like I'm always coaching. I feel like so there's always a message to every story that I write. And I love being able to convey that message through these fictional characters, through their journey. And so that's what fills me with that. And that's how I feel like it ties into the teaching and ties into the coaching and like all of the other things is because like I am like not only like given a story, but there's also going to be a life lesson tied in there. There's something that you can take away.
What do you not enjoy about the writing process? What's the hardest part for you?
The hardest part sometimes is staying in the moment. Like when I have the deadline and because of all the other things I have going on, it is so hard to, all right, I need to do this by this time. And you can't just turn on the creativity. So just because this is the time I need to be writing doesn't mean this is the time that it's going to flow. And so that's hard, just not being able to turn on the like flow when I want to. Like, because if I could, I feel like I would be so much more productive.
So Danielle, what lessons have you learned since you began in this business?
I've learned that you need to have an editor that understands you, who gets you. You need to make sure that you are true to yourself and stay in your own lane. Like those are the things that I like do and like maintain. Like there's always going to be some like drama and nonsense happening. If it don't got nothing to do with you, like don't feed into it. There's just no reason. I'm all about being true to who I am and like and the causes that are important to me, the things that matter to me, and speaking out loudly about those things. But like things that don't have nothing to do with me don't have nothing to do with me.
Right. And speaking of positive, you recently had one of your books, Sweatpants Season, recognized in Essence magazine.
Yes!
That is a huge publication. Tell me about that experience. Was it a surprise? Did they come to you and say, hey, we want to do this? Or was it just, hello?
It was a surprise to a certain degree. Like someone from Essence sent me a message and was like, hey, can I get your cover to be in, would you be interested in being in next month's Essence? And I was like, yes. But I was like, is this one playing a trick on me? Like, what's going on? So I was like, yeah, okay. And so I sent the cover and she was just like, thank you. And that was it. And I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything else until a reader messaged me and was like, I just got my subscription to Essence and you're in it. And I was like, what? And so I knew that like, because it was Sweatpants season, and because I knew it was the September, October edition, I figured it was going to be something related to fall. I didn't realize it was going to be like top 5 like list, and so that took me by surprise. And so I was very, very excited about that, and because I feel like it was a list of 5 books, and only 2 of them, I believe, were fiction, like novels, and Zane was number 1. And I feel like I remember like hearing about reading, well, not really reading until senior year, but like hearing about Zane in high school and like being on a list mentioned next to her was like,
that is so cool.
It sold well. Initially, I feel like because the cover, Amy Q does most of my covers, and I knew what I wanted, and she delivered exactly what I asked for. And I think because like people bought it because of that, but like there's always a lesson, and the book, while it has a man with his bulge, his big print showing, it's about objectification and like the objectification of women, and how like the it is a double standard when it comes to like men are objectified too, but not to the same degree as women. So like, yes, during Sweatpants season, we may look at dicks, but all year round, women are objectified, and the ramifications that come from like a man, like people may joke and say like, oh, he has a small dick or whatever, but like doesn't like lose work because of it. He doesn't like not get play. Like there's still women who like will still give him play even though he has a small dick. And so while women are objectified and then put in a certain like box that she won't be able to, like that they won't let her escape from. I'm not saying she won't be able to, and they will try to keep her in because of how they view her and what they like treat her as. The cover indicates, and so it brings people in, and then they get in, and there's a life lesson right there for you. And so like, that's how I try to keep it. Like I'll reel you in and then try to teach you something.
And then another really cool thing that recently happened is that one of your books, and you were featured in Read Me Romance. And that is Tessa Bailey and Alexa Riley's podcast, right? And I've listened to a couple of their podcasts, and I listened to Fool in Love.
They reached out earlier this year and asked if I wanted to be a part of it, and I hadn't heard of it, and I was like, well, that sounds cool. Yeah, sign me up. And so then Fool in Love is part of the Hot Holiday Hookups. Okay. And there's 3 different stories in the Hot Holiday Hookups, and it's all holiday hookups, but there's holidays you wouldn't typically think of as sexy.
Like Groundhog Day or something?
April Fool's Day, and Juneteenth. And so those are the holidays that are featured, and Fool in Love is April Fool's Day Hot Holiday Hookup. And that one is about what happened when Kenya went to a speed dating event, and it happened to fall on April Fool's Day, and how things played out for her in her evening.
And were they already in audio, or was that specifically then working with Read Me Romance?
That was specifically Read Me Romance. Cool. Yeah, like it was so cool because I never had an audiobook, so like it was really cool to hear my words like back to me, and so I was just like.
Did you get to choose who narrated it, or did they?
They make those decisions, but before I signed the contract, I told them specifically that I wanted it to be it was a Black woman who is going through the story, so I wanted it to be a Black woman who narrated,
Yeah.
and I wanted the cover to be a Black woman, and they were like, not a problem at all. Like, because in the contract it says we picked the cover, we picked the narrator, and so I just wanted to be clear on what I wanted. So they still picked like who they wanted for the cover and the narration, but they made sure that both were Black women.
Gotcha. Very cool. All right. Your latest work then, Truth or Dare, features a hero named Kingston. Love that. Kingston Wright. And just the name alone is so hot. But then again, you look at the cover and you're like, oh yeah. So is this a follow-up to Sweatpants season, or are they completely different? Are they
completely
different? Okay.
Completely different. Like Sweatpants season came out in 2018.
Okay.
And that like cuffing season goes along with that, but those are two standalones. Truth or Dare, I was in the middle of writing something else. My 29th book, I was in the middle of writing that. And then like this idea struck me, and I was like, all right, I gotta see what they're talking about. And so then I wrote that, and it was just like, it just flowed. It was at a time where I was feeling like I want to get away. I want to be like with a group of my friends. Like I want to like do something. And then like Truth or Dare just started spilling out of me. And so, but yes, it's a story about about Kingston and Simone and their group of friends, and how a game of Truth or Dare changed the dynamic between them. Yeah.
As adults.
As adults, yes. Okay. But they're in the Dominican Republic for a wedding weekend, and someone suggests that they play Truth or Dare, and they do, and something happens. So it's really made me look at, all right, so if we have to continue being online, and I still wanting to, just like really just reflecting on all of those things, but also just like the me time. I feel like financially, I realized that I spend a lot of money on trips and travel. And so like
you saved some money this year. Yay.
So 2020 has been a blessing in that way. Like I feel like God has been blessing me. And even in the things that did not go the way I wanted them to go, or the way I thought I wanted them to go, I feel like I've had the space to be able to reflect and look at like, okay, so what was I supposed to learn from that? And like being able to move in that direction. And I feel like that's always going to be a blessing. And so 2020, it's been different. It's been emotionally tiring. Like I feel like I stopped watching videos of police brutality like a couple of years ago. But like, I feel like this year, I feel like with everything being like so like still, and it being able to highlight the injustices, it's been emotionally like difficult, but also like one of those things where it's like it was time for the Band-Aid to come off, because we can't like fix things that we deny are happening. So like I feel like now that everyone can clearly see what we've been saying is happening, now like let's make some changes to like get this. So I feel like there's been a lot of blessings in the midst of everything.
The chaos and crisis. Yeah. Well, Danielle, you are inspiring. You are motivational. You are positive, and I love the way that you have taken this, what we've been given this year, and you have forged ahead and just turned some. You've published great books, and you are continuing to do so. And I'm out of words. I'm speechless.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm so glad you asked me to do this. I'm so Well, first, I'm glad to like be able to talk to you because I feel like after 4 years, I'm
Right.
glad that we are finally doing this. And so it was such a good time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Danielle Allen, for joining me and talking to me and our readers about all of the great things that you've accomplished this year, that you've made happen in 2020. And I hope that you watchers out there find that she is truly an inspiration and such a positive energy. She just fills me with positivity. So thank you. And please stick around. Make sure you subscribe below. Check out her links. And then also watch for upcoming videos. I'm going to take a short break over the holidays and regroup and re-energize and get ready for 2021 because there is lots that's going to be coming out, including an all-new 15-book, 15-author series called the All-American Boys series, which I am coordinating, and you'll want to definitely check out these books when they come out and release in January and February. And also, I'm part of the shared world of the world of True North with Serena Bowen. So check that out. It's going to be hockey romance, and I'm very excited to write that. So stay tuned, and until we see each other again, remember to be sweet, love hard, and read dirty. Take care.